Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
All right, it's Coffee Ann on ON, AM, and FM. It's Monday morning, December 18th, when the rain continues to come down, and we have windy conditions as well. But it's warm for December, 57 degrees. I'm Joe Callahan. That's Dave Richards right over there. Hi, Dave.
I am. Oh, hi there, gang.
And we will be joined by Melissa Murray. She's not here just yet, but John Ward is here.
She's sliding in from third
just
now.
Just visiting John Ward.
She's right there in the
Oh,
doorway.
hi,
Is
Melissa.
she not here yet?
Snuck in while you weren't
You
looking.
could
I wasn't
have
looking.
covered for like 20 more feet.
Well, I didn't see
Once
her.
you got
so-
to the table.
All right. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
Good morning.
All right.
Morning, Melissa.
Now, John Ward is here, Woonsocket City Council President, because there is a meeting tonight going on at Harris Hall.
There is?
And that's what
Two.
John's here to tell us all about. So, John, get on your soapbox and go right ahead.
John's going to shut off the ringer on his phone first, so we're not
What a kind thing to
interrupted.
do.
so we're not disturbed by that. If I can get the foolish thing to work.
Well, pass the iPhone to your, your immediate right.
iPhone?
And,
No. I don't use iPhone.
Oh, fine.
I'm an
Droid
Android
person.
The last
Okay.
holdout here.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Well,
So,
first,
what's going on?
before we have our regular meeting, we're going to have a special meeting to discuss the ARPA spending plan. A lot of money. $37 million with the interest we've earned, for which we have a variety of commitments, but then we have a variety of items that are being suggested to add to the list, including paying for the work at Cass Park, paying for a variety of things like security cameras, the special election that's coming up, and some city hall repairs to replace the roof and take care of some window issues, demolition of 815 River Street, which is some housing that we bought, I guess, on River Street. In any case, we're going to be discussing all of those plans and what's going to be happening there, starting at 6 o'clock. And then I'm going to suggest you not read the agenda because it'll make you crazy. For some reason, it says discussion regarding True Mand Reeve Greenway update.
Truman.
I think it's the truly should say the Truman Drive Greenway
not Grieve.
update. But that's not what it
It's
says.
the true man, huh?
So I'm not sure who was having a keyboard issue, but in any case, it'll be the Truman Drive Greenway update that the
All right.
planning director wants to give us. And that'll be between 6 and 7, and then the regular meeting will start, and we'll do the usual things on licenses. Bugged Out Barbecue wants a second-class victualling license at 191 Social Street, and the Knights of Columbus want to hold a tag day on May 11th. A little early, but why not, right? With a rain date, not today, Saturday, May 18th. Then we do our minutes and we go through our reports. There's a slew of reports. I would encourage people to go through and read through them. They include the rescue plan spending program, paid bills, a financial report. We have them provide a list of the items that were bid on in the last month, and reports on our capital fund, the order reports, just over and over things. And we got a planning department report, a public safety report. So good to see this stuff when you can have the time to just sit and read through it, because it lets you know what's going on in your city government. Under our unfinished business, we only have one item. It's an allocation of ARPA funds for $854,000 for road and sidewalk repair as part of Woonsocket's participation in Department of Transportation's Municipal Road and Bridge Fund program. They'll be experts at bridge repairs in a little while. And then on the new business, there is a slew of things. Several of them are going to be tabled because if they're an ordinance appropriating new money for things such as rescue plan funds for to buy the land that surrounds the new water treatment office and garage complex on Roy Avenue. That'll have to be tabled because you have to have it on, you have to wait 10 days after an appropriation ordinance is introduced to pass it. There's another one authorizing expenditures for the French Worsted property on 153 Hamlet Avenue that's going to be discussed. And I think those are the only two that are going to be tabled for that reason. It's going to take me a minute here to get through all of this. Let me see if anyone's paid attention. Off of Manville Road, they were doing some construction of new homes on a street called Simone Avenue, off Manville Road, and the developer is finished with doing all of the housing there. So the road is in an acceptable condition for the city to take ownership of it and become responsible for the sewer and water mains and the drainage there.
Does that mean the city has to go out and pave it?
Pardon me?
Does the city have to go out and pave it now?
No.
Or has it been
No.
paved?
The developer, when a developer develops a new street, they have to
They do
do
that
all the
part.
utilities underground. It has to pass inspection by the city. Then they have to put the base coats and the paving. It has to be a finished
Okay, so
product.
that's been taken care
Then
of.
the city takes it over.
I see. Okay.
So that's all done. All the houses are built, all the utilities are hooked up, and the paving is done.
Good. All right.
Then we have, let me see, Councilman Mancieri is proposing an ordinance that would put restrictions or permitting and licensing on consumer short-term lenders. I think there's a couple of them in the city. It puts limits on what they can do and how they have to file for a permit every year. And the city council has to approve it. And there's conditions. It's a very complex and lengthy piece of legislation that is probably as complex and lengthy as the senator was used to at the State House trying to do the same kind of thing.
I read it, yeah.
And apparently it's been successfully done in other localities as a local
okay.
measure.
Providence
I
has
wasn't
it.
quite sure
Yeah.
we ever had the authority to do it, but I'm told that we do. And so, bully for us. We're going to put it out there and see if we can make it stick. Then we have a ordinance to transfer funds from contingency to claims because we agreed to settle with that no longer police officer, Mr. Sosa, and we need more money in the claims account to pay it. So we're taking it out of contingency for $300,000 to settle, just as a proper account to pay that out of. The usual cancellation of some taxes for abatements for various reasons. We're going to have the resolution to approve our meeting dates that have to be approved each year for 2024. Councilman Mancieri and all of us have actually agreed to support a resolution to erect a memorial to honor veterans and current members of the armed services serving our country in support of the global war on terrorism, which is now 21 years old. Wow.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have a resolution to authorize a 3-year contract with Cox Business Services because the water department staff has transferred over to 181 Cumberland Street, and for that and for possibly other services in the city moving over there, we need to have phone service and internet access for that location. So it's to enter into a contract with Cox Business Services to do that while facilities are being built. The other one, I didn't open it up, but I've been told, it says amending the rules of order of the city council, and I believe they want to start the meetings at
Earlier.
6 p.m.
How about that?
Expect a lengthy public welfare section coming up saying we want to hear the Tiki Bar on Monday nights at 6 instead.
Yeah, that's what they'll be saying.
And although a certain station owner may also show up in line and saying, I disagree with all the listeners of the Tiki Bar because I like to go to bed earlier at night. I don't know. 6 o'clock. It looks like a gutsy move. Could be done, though.
Should I bring my
Wild.
salt shaker to the meeting?
You lost shaker salt. That's right.
Bring a sleeping
No, I
bag
found
to the
it.
meeting. There'll be
Oh,
so
oh,
much
good.
controversy over this you wouldn't believe.
I,
Well, I'm thinking the people that work out of town might have trouble getting here for 6 o'clock.
No, that's not true.
No? All right.
That's not true.
some people that used to work while they were on the council would have had trouble sometimes getting here at 6 o'clock because they were still
If they were
finishing
worked
day's
out of
work.
town, you're right. I can think
Yeah.
of them. Yeah, I can think of them. Yeah.
Like, I maybe would have had trouble getting here at 6 o'clock sometimes. I might have trouble doing it when I'm retired. In any case,
Eat dinner at
Wait,
6.
you're-
I hope not because there's
Is
a
that
school,
2
there's a
o'clock
school
nap goes
building
long
committee this
sometimes?
afternoon at 5 o'clock too. So I'm going to be a busy boy.
Well, anyway, there'll be
In
some
any case,
discussion
that's
on
going to
it
be
anyway.
that's going to be discussed by many people, I'm sure.
Right off the bat, John, what do you think? Do you like the idea or not? Or do you have
I-
to think about it some more?
I'd have to think about it some more.
Okay.
I
don't want to put you on the
I want to
spot.
see how people react because people will tell us what
They think, yeah.
what they think and what the problems are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to know how easy it would be to start at 6. The question is,
Oh, yeah, it sounds great.
what
but-
is it going to create?
Yeah. What other problems might it create?
So let's wait and see what the people say.
All right.
At least
let's
it's
see
not
what.
4.
4 in the afternoon.
Well, there are those that do it in the middle of the day. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
4 is difficult.
That's a good way to make sure nobody shows up to your meetings.
Uh-huh.
I think the housing authority has their afternoon meetings at 4 o'clock.
There you go.
I think our investment board and the redevelopment agency have their meetings at 8:30 a.m. Like, oh yeah, everybody's just doing nothing at that time of day. In any case, another one's to authorize the finance director to bypass competitive bidding for architectural services. That has to do with the facing on the, what's the name of the building?
Commercial building.
Commercial building, that's the one. The old home of WWON.
Exactly.
The original home of WWON.
That's right.
The front-facing commercial building needs to be redone to make it a gussy it up, and they want to use architectural services for a company that's been doing work for the city for that purpose too. And let me see, we want to, oh yes, the resolution to express support to facilitate the purchase of property for the purpose of building a full-service supermarket in the city of Woonsocket. The big mystery, no, I don't know the name of the store
I know you
yet.
don't.
However, there is it's because it's part of an association, so I don't know which one's coming, but the point is that we want to help them get the deal done so that they can then come to us. We've talked about bringing to the council a tax stabilization agreement in order to let them get in the building, get settled in, give them time to develop the business. It's in the location everybody thinks is the location, which is down where the Rite Aid used to be.
Yeah. So what's going to happen
which is
to
where
Aaron's now?
Mac
He
Buick
asks,
used to be.
just to open up a can of worms.
Well, once
Where Aaron's used to be.
once they can get this deal done, and they come back to the city. Obviously, as I pointed out, we can't do a tax stabilization agreement with whoever happens to be the buyer of. We actually need to know who the company is, who the owners are, what the arrangements are.
Tax
But
ID numbers.
The point is,
you're talking
we'll
taxes.
we'll get that done, but we just want to express our support for it so that they can move on with the transaction. And to do a resolution expressing the city's support to facilitate the purchase of real property located at 53 Coast Street for the purpose of facilitating transitional supportive housing. That's another one that's going to be a discussion item tonight because it's apparently the old convent at Holy Family
Yeah.
that's empty and is up for sale.
Yeah.
And I'm personally not a big fan of the city buying any more of this stuff. I know they're going to be using the bus, they're going to be using the rectory, and now they want to incorporate this building for supportive services. Fine, if somebody wants to buy it and do that, help yourself. But I'm not sure. I have a couple of problems. One is that it was the company that bought it only 3 years ago paid 200 and some thousand. They're looking to get 599.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I know if I bought it for 200 and something, I'd want to get that too. In any case, that's what's going to be up for discussion. And I don't have a problem with transitional supportive housing. I just don't know that that is the place or that the city wants to be the owner of.
You're right.
You know, I'll leave that to the state and the
Lots of
nonprofit
questions there.
agencies that, yeah. I don't want to, I'm hesitant to support vague notions.
But keep
like-
in mind now, if the state takes it over, it's going to be on that
like-
system where people from Westerly will be coming up.
No,
for
apparently
temporary
they've made arrangements to change that because of the Dignity Bus. There will be a regional approach to that that's going to limit us to, I'm not sure how many communities, but predominantly northern Rhode Island. So we won't be having to bus anybody up from Westerly.
Valerie has been busy.
Bust them to the bus.
Bus them to the bus.
No.
And
The
then
bus is only one component here, Joe.
And the Public Works Director wants to spend some time discussing the local 670 negotiations, which cover his
A lot of his staff, yeah.
Public Works employees
Yeah.
as well as City Hall staff, Cath Park Athletic Complex and what's going on, the wastewater facility and what's going on with those contracts, the stage at River Island Park and World War II Memorial Park, and the fact that River Island is being asked to be added to the ARPA spending plan, which is probably a good thing because we could either professionalize that stage that exists
Yeah.
or do something else. Probably professionalize the stage that exists because based on the dollars they're looking to put into the ARPA funding, it's a lot of dough. So it's going to really, I think, be a nice job if we spend that much money on it.
Well, just to get that big piece of concrete out of there and redo it is going to be work.
Well, I'm not sure they're going to tear out the concrete.
Don't think
but
so?
I don't know.
Ah.
It's a better place to put your chair rather than dirt in case it's soft. I don't know. We'll have to have
Doesn't
that
have the
discussion.
shade, though.
True.
Go do something. And then Councilman Mansieri wants to discuss soliciting bids for a real estate brokerage firm having to do with the sale of property, expansion of the downtown overlay district, some zone amendment legislation, and the city council property subcommittee, which doesn't exist, so I'm assuming he's proposing we consider creating one. And then Councilman Thompson wants to discuss the fiscal year 25 budget process and season's greetings to Woonsocket residents, which
Which they have to put
Everybody-
on the agenda.
Yeah.
Or else you can't
Which-
say it.
Otherwise, you really can't
which
say it.
everybody forgets to put on the agenda except he didn't, so we'll all be able to
So now
offer
you'll
our
all be able
season's
to do it,
greetings.
right.
And then I'm going to talk about what else? The Mendon Road property purchase because I've got more stuff that's driving me crazy and I intend to discuss. And then I have sent out the first 8 chapters of the charter for the amendments that I am proposing and to all the council members, and I will be making them available to others soon, and I'm going to be asking the council to consider putting some on the agenda in future meetings so we can put them on a ballot question or at least put them out there for at least a month or 6 weeks for the public to comment on and other people to comment on. And I'll probably, as I leave here today, now that I've said it, it's going to be on tonight, I'll send it out to our General Assembly delegation. I'll send it out to our other city officials and see what their thoughts are on. There's nothing terribly controversial, well, in my
Well-
opinion, but that's just my
I can think of a few.
so that's what's on the agenda for this evening. It's probably going to be a long/short meeting. I'm not sure which.
Long/short.
Well, I don't
Well,
know.
it depends on how much controversy is generated, how much discussion
there's
is
a
generated.
couple of issues that could take some discussion. So
Okay.
between the Coast Street property and the supermarket question and
Starting
the lender
starting the meetings at 6 or 7.
starting the meetings at 6 or 7. It'll be interesting. Maybe we'll end up at 6:30. I don't know.
Hey, got to compromise.
Then instead of the tiki bar, you'll have the tiki.
We'll just join.
He's such a clever man.
We'll join the meeting in progress. Okay. You,
Oh,
do you get to stick around, or you have to hustle out?
Sure, we could
All
chat.
right, still
We
right.
got
We'll
stuff
chat for a little
to
bit.
talk about.
All right, more coffee ends coming
Who
your
wants
way.
to go outside in
Please,
this weather,
that's
Joe?
right. Please stick around.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois. This is Dave Richards with a reminder for those who want items on our Milk Fund radio auction. Pick up and pay for your items during regular business hours here at the radio station, 8 to 4 weekdays and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to noon at our studios at 985 Park Avenue, corner of Kennedy Street in Woonsocket. Please pick up and pay for your Milk Fund radio auction items within a week. Thanks.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores. And it's Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan, along with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, and John Ward, and Woonsocket City Council President. And were you listening to the Coffee and program last Friday?
I was not.
In case you haven't heard, and you probably already have, but Dan Jennings has officially
Oh,
thrown his
well,
hat in the
I
ring
knew that.
to run for City Council.
I knew that.
Well, just in case you hadn't.
Well, John
for him.
knows things.
Good for
yeah,
him.
I'm sure he did. He did, but just
Dan,
it's
Dan's
official.
Dan was always a good councilman, and
Yeah.
I'm sure if he wins, he'll do a good job again.
Are you hearing other names being kicked around?
There are two other people I know. Adam Brunetti has said he's running, and I forgot the other guy's name. He's on Facebook announcing his candidacy.
That's a lot of people.
The
So Woonsocket person.
runner, he runs, right?
The runner?
He's like no, I like
Yeah.
he literally,
He's
like,
literally
he
a
runs.
runner.
Yes.
I see.
Runner, he runs.
Well,
He-
Okay,
for
we're
fun.
out in the
That's what-
dark now because
No,
That's-
you know,
I
like,
thought
you
Bob
know how-
Phillips was going to run for
that's
council.
what runners do.
They run. Yeah.
I mean, this is all just discussion here. You know what you're hearing in the breeze, right? Except
no, there's a
last
guy
week,
who's on
Dan
the
came in and said, "What you've been hearing about me is right."
Yes. Adam Brunetti did announce that he was running on in a
He didn't
social
do it on
media.
our station.
No, he didn't. He did it on a social media post, and then there's another.
I have a bone to pick with that young man.
Individual that I'll let him know. There's another individual that has I don't even recall his name because I don't know him from personally, but he has for city council. He has a T-shirt made with his name for city council, and he is a runner. Like, you know how sometimes Garrett runs just for fun and there's nobody chasing him.
Yes.
I'm so perplexed by that.
They used to call them
always
joggers.
When they're not
joggers.
chasing
All right,
them.
right. Joggers.
Everybody knew that a jogger meant someone who ran.
But people
for
like
sport.
jogging. I guess is not in vogue anymore. People run now.
Oh, okay.
But yes, right.
so
So,
this-
this guy's a runner.
Is this
also.
how he's campaigning?
Oh, I don't know.
Just throw that T-shirt on and run around the city?
Maybe. But
interesting
I'm
concept.
not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to and can get the support should. I'll say that right at the outset. And we encourage you all to do it if you want to. But I had heard that Bobby Phillips wanted to run way back when the first the vacancy first came along. I don't know if he's changed his plans. He hasn't mentioned it to me.
I'm not sure. I don't know. All right.
So I mean, people should run. We'll find out.
I'll find this name before the show's over.
It'll be it'll be what next week they'll pull out papers, right? And then
Yeah.
we'll have a list.
Yes, right.
the end of the month. Yeah,
The
20
sincere
29th,
will go
right?
down and pull out papers, and then they'll get their signatures, and then
Yes.
the sincere and supported will then be
We'll
running.
submit.
But-
yeah, correct.
Anybody running in a special election will tell you, don't ever assume someone's going to win because so few people turn out for special
Yeah, that's
elections.
true.
It can
Right.
be,
Right.
It's all about getting
very-
the vote out, isn't it?
It is.
there you go. My good friend up in Boston just sent me a text saying Chris
Michelle Wu?
Mellon.
Oh yes, that's
name?
it.
Chris
Chris
Mellon
Mellon?
is
Chris
the fellow's
Mellon.
name.
Chris Mellon is the when you're
Yes.
talking about. Is that the
M-E-L-L-E-N.
one that you say is the
Correct.
runner?
Yeah.
Chris Mellon. I haven't heard that name before. All right.
Obviously, a Woonsocket resident. And,
Well,
okay.
I mean, you have to be,
Right.
wouldn't you?
Right.
So, well, that's good. Well, good luck to Chris. I sincerely feel that way. Anybody who really wants to run should run. I know I can't because then I got to give up my job. But besides that, anybody who wants to run should run.
I always encourage people to run for
Yeah,
office.
and at the very least, you see what the situation's like, and you'll learn a lot from every
sure do.
endeavor.
You sure do.
What you don't succeed at, you learn from. So there you go. And heaven knows you could run 2 times, 3 times, and then all the previous times contributed to your success.
Yep.
So
All right. So
do it. Everybody should run.
All right. So I don't know if you
But
saw.
Maura Healey.
Yeah,
he
so, Maura Healey does not want to be part of the Biden administration.
Now,
That's just what
Maura
she says now.
Healey is the governor of Massachusetts, and she actually issued a statement saying, I'm all in favor of the president. President's
Gonna
been
vote-
very good to
gonna
Massachusetts.
campaign for him.
He's in the right party, so I mean we're going for Biden and going for broke with Biden. But of course, if Biden should win re-election and need somebody in the cabinet, I would not serve because I'm having way too much time being in Massachusetts, and a move like that is so Rhode Island. I wouldn't do it.
That's what she says now. Until she's actually asked.
Right.
That's Chris
Until the
Mellon.
offer's in front of her.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
maybe I didn't mean that.
Well, I don't know. I
changed my
it
mind. He
depends on
convinced
how
me.
ambitious you are. And the
Yeah.
thing that nobody was really talking much about back when Governor Raimondo was still governor and being offered these things is that they kept offering her these jobs. No, don't like it.
Yeah.
No, I want something bigger. No,
And she got
try
it.
something else. Yeah, and so she did.
Yeah.
She just kept saying, no, don't want that one. Don't want that. So
All
they,
right.
they offered her transportation. She said, nah, I don't want that. The truckers hate me.
That's so true. So the big story last week, it did make national news up in Boston with Mayor Wu of Boston and her colored only Christmas party. Not only did she not lay low on it, she took pictures
Yes.
and posted it.
Yeah.
Here we all are having a good time.
They weren't in black and white.
They were oh, come on now.
They were in color.
They were in color.
Yes, they
That's
were
right.
color pictures, yeah.
So
At the
okay.
colored party. Coloreds
Yes.
only.
And they were all sitting there having a good time. So
Well,
all
God
right.
bless them. But the problem is that if you said we should only have white people at this, then they're going to hang you from a tree. But if we should only have colored, oh well, God bless you for being so forthright. And I'm saying that's a double standard, and where I come from, that was wrong too.
A lot of people are saying it's wrong.
Well, you know what they say sometimes. If they didn't have double standards, they wouldn't have any.
Any standards.
Oh, that's a great one.
Wow.
John Ward, 3-pointer. Yay, love it.
Patriots lost yesterday, by the way.
Oh, big deal.
See, the problem
now
is
tell
now.
us the news.
The problem is now they don't show up for the whole game. They show up for about half the game,
That's right. And
'Cause
then they get
they-
injured.
they do well.
And they get taken out.
and then they don't. So we'll see. Zappy looked okay. Still think they should bring in someone younger, have a little a little quarterback battle during training camp next summer.
Get a young guy like the Browns did.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. So we'll see.
how old
They
is
get,
he?
who? The Browns guy? I don't remember.
You don't.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought a sports guy like you, the joke would live.
No.
So we're going to do the sports huddle.
Two
Explain
more.
it for the rest of us.
Two more games for the Patriots. They play on Christmas Eve night. If you want to watch, they'll be in Denver taking on the Broncos. They
They'll
actually
be on-
might. They
they'll
actually
be on
might
Channel 10 that night.
They actually might be able to win that game. So, but we'll see.
With the Browns?
No, the Broncos.
Oh, Broncos.
That'll play the Browns, but that'll be Christmas Eve night. If you got nothing else better to do on Christmas Eve, the game is on at night.
I'll be listening
It's a
to
Sunday night
Cruz
game
and
of the
Bruce
week.
Palmer's special Christmas show.
That's right. We did have a note.
I'll
that
be
was
having
called in.
dinner with the family. We won't
Same.
have the football game.
Oh, so nice of you. You don't want to have it on in the background?
You get to travel to the north end.
By the way, that's Joe Flacco.
Flacco,
Yes,
that's
travel to
right.
the
You're
north
right.
end,
Yeah.
yes.
Not exactly a teenager,
No, no, not at all.
but he wins.
We did have a note that was called in, and a completely different subject. It just said,
Now for something completely different.
hiding debts can break relationships. There's a new survey. 39% of married adults committing financial infidelity. All right. Another recent poll found that roughly 2/3 of partnered adults hide purchases from their partners in the last year. The average secret spender concealed $475 in money. It's not a lot of money to hide.
That's not a lot. I thought when you said debts, I thought you meant like, I have like thousands of dollars of
Well,
debt
yeah.
that I owe.
But I guess maybe
But
some
you're
people
just talking
do, but-
about like, I went out
less
and I
than-
bought something and I
yeah.
didn't. I mean,
But this is also nothing
It's
new.
like buying a bag of chips and not telling the wife that
I
you
know.
bought a bag of chips.
But if you, all you have to do is go back
right.
maybe like 2 generations. My
I know.
aunt, what's that?
One checkbook.
When women weren't allowed to have bank accounts.
bring the money.
Almost.
No,
but
no, they
Well, there was
literally
that,
weren't.
my aunt was dated a guy for like 10 years. They were in their 60s or 70s, and he told me the story about when he was a kid. And one day his father just showed up, had a new car. Didn't involve the wife in the decision at all. Didn't tell her he was looking. Didn't tell he bought it. Just showed up and here it is.
It's a man's job.
That's. They were from. He was from. The father was from Portugal, so it was very old school Portuguese. And I said, "What'd your mother say?" Nothing. He was in charge of that, and if he thought it was a good
And
decision,
I'll bet you he
Smart
never made
decision.
dinner either.
probably not. No, he worked. he had to leave and go out and come back and Food better be on the table. So it is nothing new for of people doing this.
No.
Hiding, not that this was really hid, but just didn't tell her, I'll be coming home with a new car in about a week. So, does it still? I guess it still happens. Okay.
Well,
$475.
Well, it's
But
not a
yeah,
lot, but
that's
I
not a
bet
lot of money.
I bet how many of married
That's not even an iPhone.
how many
Right.
married folks that are together, but one of them has a secret bank account. Just
I don't
in
know
just
how
in their
you
name.
do that. But
You could go down to Park
I
Square
know.
and go to Navigant and open up an account with just your name on it.
right.
Throw your son on as a different.
Until she has to sign the tax return. Oh yeah.
No, just,
What's that bank
just-
account you go?
Well, don't show at that point.
Oh. Just sign here,
Just
dear.
sign here.
It's
That's
not
right.
that simple.
Do that Radar O'Reilly thing.
That's right. Top secret. All right, more is coming up. It's time for a look at the weather forecast. And our weather forecast this time around is being brought to you by Batteries Plus Bulbs. At Batteries Plus, they want to know what moves you. Is it an SUV, a motorcycle, a golf cart? Whatever moves you drives them. Stop in and shop online at batteriesplus.com.
A 100% chance of rain and possibly a thunderstorm today. Some storms could produce heavy rainfall. We're looking at another inch or two of rain coming down today. High of 60, wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour in Woonsocket. Tonight, rain diminishing overnight. Partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 38 degrees. Only a tenth of an inch of rain is expected overnight. Winds dying down to about 28 miles per hour. Tuesday's weather, a few leftover showers are possible. Partly sunny skies with a high of 46, the winds down to 20 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and 42. Thursday, mostly sunny and 39. Friday, mostly sunny skies and 37. Saturday, sunshine and 39. And on Sunday, Christmas Eve, mostly sunny, high of 43.
At the turn of this century, 27% of people who passed away were cremated. By the year 2020, that figure rose to 56%. The Cremation Association of America projects that by the year 2040, 4 out of 5 Americans will choose cremation over a casket burial. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center of Woonsocket can answer your questions about the cremation process. Go online to providencecremation.com. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center on Spring Street, Woonsocket. Let them create the perfect service for your loved one. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center. Legal problems can be incredibly stressful. During this challenging time, a dedicated and reliable attorney can make a significant difference in the outcome of your matter. The Brean Law Group has the expertise that you need. John Brean has a thorough understanding of Rhode Island law. The Brean Law Group works hard to help you get the best possible results in the following practice areas: criminal defense, personal injury, workers' comp, DUI, and expungence. They offer a free consultation. Contact John Brean at the Brean Law Group today, 401-597-5565, or visit their website, BreanLawGroupRI.com.
ON Radio, ON Worldwide.
Hi, this is Romeo Berthium inviting you to join me every Saturday morning from 6 to 9 for The Saturday Show. This all-request program includes music, news, sports, weather, and all sorts of community announcements. And what a great way to start your weekend. Join me this Saturday morning.
ON Radio, ON Worldwide.
It is Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards and Melissa Murray and Woonsocket City Council President John Ward. Lengthy meeting coming up tonight, John. So
Yes.
bang that gavel.
And a good time will be had by
promptly,
all.
promptly at 7. And not a
Well, the
second
special
later.
meeting starts at 6.
Oh, okay. We'll start
The regular
that
meeting
after.
starts at 7.
Okay.
After the Tiki Bar.
That's right. After we all have a few margaritas, right? that'll get you through the special
Might be a
meeting
good
quickly.
idea.
All right. Well, in Cumberland, they put out a silver alert for that elderly man, and then they found his truck, a Ford F-350. It's a good size. That's a good size pickup truck if you don't see him, in flames in Hopkinton. And then they found a body. I read inside. Then I read it was outside the truck. Not that it really matters, but but they haven't said
They
who
also
the
found
body
a
is yet.
deceased person,
Yes.
and so the state police have taken over investigation.
So no word yet from the state police on who the body was, but I'm putting two to two together and
Sure.
Yes.
coming up with 5, I guess.
Yeah.
And,
Well, the really big telling thing was they canceled the Silver Alert.
that's right. Come on, so we don't need.
We're
to
not
do
going to
that
tell you who
anymore.
Yeah, I
it
guess
was.
that's a
We're
clue.
canceling the
Yeah.
Silver Alert for this person.
You could stop looking for him. So that's a shame. You wonder how he got all the way to Hopkinton, and well, it didn't say. Did he
By
have
truck.
Did he have dementia?
Don't know. I only saw the silver alert because I was driving, so
Yeah.
I saw it on the highway,
The-
and I
okay,
thought
the
the same
boards,
thing. I
yeah.
said, "That's a really big truck."
Yes. So for someone to have.
Yeah.
Gary
but-
Smith drives a Ford F-350.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
But,
does.
Okay. And the other big story is, and things that just drive you nuts is the. Can I find it? The former teacher in Cranston, who pleaded no contest to sexually assaulting 5 students,
Oh gosh, yeah.
cuts the plea deal, no prison time.
Oh,
So that's a
Amazing.
pretty sweet deal
yeah, that's
that he
gross.
got. He
Gross.
pleaded no contest earlier last week, 5 counts, second-degree sexual assault, got a 5-year suspended sentence, and he will have to register as a sex offender.
Well,
Like,
and
big
that, of
deal.
course, that means, well, it is a big deal. His teaching days are over,
Well,
public
that-
or private.
that-
It doesn't
that's
make
true.
any difference.
Yeah.
Well,
you
you would
register
think
as a
so.
sex offender,
Yeah.
that's it. You're not getting a job teaching anymore.
But he's 65, Dave. He's just going to retire.
Well, okay.
65. He hasn't retired yet.
But Joe, read the rest of the story. It doesn't make sense until you read the last part of it, where the victims and the victims' families are all good with this.
The plea deal, this is according to Peter Nerona, the AG. The plea was reached with the approval of the Cranston Police, the victims, and their families.
And so,
And so you can make an assumption that nobody that's a victim was a part of my family.
well, there you go. Okay, yes, we could make that assumption, I suppose, John, if you make that kind of an announcement. But the point is that the families may have felt that, well, look, if he's not going to be with kids, if he's not going to be teaching anymore, well, then he can't do it anymore. So there, that's good enough for us.
Really?
Or
Folks always find opportunities. That's I mean, it's a sickness, and you say, well, why wasn't he? Why hadn't he? Retired already? Well, you have to wonder.
or did he pay them off?
What?
Did he pay off the families?
That's a shocking thing to think about.
Here's $10,000 for each of you.
Well, geez,
was-
Joe, that's really that
Must be
that wasn't touched at
well-paid
all in the
teachers.
story.
Oh,
Cranston.
I know. They're paying the teachers well in Cranston. They're
Right?
very-
I mean,
I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just a thought.
it's
'Cause
disturbing
'cause
that he's not
wondering
going
why
to jail.
why would the victims and their family say, yeah, okay, he doesn't have to have any jail time?
Why?
Well, what would
I
the jail time
think-
do?
I don't know.
I think because too often, in my opinion, the Attorney General's office is so desperate to get a plea deal instead of having to go into court because it's time consuming and expensive, and they get log jammed and there's continuances forever. That case would probably take 3 years to run before it ever saw the inside of a courtroom. They spend an inordinate amount of effort convincing people to allow somebody to take a plea
okay.
where there are victims involved. If there's only stolen money, then if the person takes a plea to avoid the court, the Attorney General's office usually takes it. To a certain extent, they will. But when there's victims involved, I guarantee you people from the Attorney General's office were at the homes of the victims persuading them to accept it because they were desperate not to drag this out 3 years and end up with a court case
All right.
when the guy's 68.
Well, how about this as a theory then? He did plead, cut the plea
Lesser
deal.
charges.
No contest, 5 counts of second-degree sexual assault. Does this just mean he kissed them? And is that the assault?
Well, what was the original charge? First degree sexual
I
assault?
don't think
Right.
so.
Third
Good
degree?
point.
It doesn't.
Or what-
It doesn't say.
Doesn't say.
Say, right.
Also got his five counts of second-degree sexual assault. So what was the
That would
actual
be
assault?
inappropriate touching, probably, as
Okay.
opposed to penetration, as it were.
Right. Does that mean he smacks him on the butt as they walk down
It could.
the hallway? Because it doesn't say the victims are
Could be,
female. Could be guys.
could go from smacking on the butt to fondling, as it
could.
were. Could be a lot of things.
Yeah, you don't know what the original charge was, so
No, I don't.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
All right. I just was surprised that he
yeah, it's
received
surprising.
no jail time. Gabe Amo was sworn in.
Yes.
Jeez, I don't understand.
by the way, on this last-
He
ago,
was.
On that
This was his
last story,
in-district swearing in.
it could be that the Attorney General's office genuinely feared that because he's in that juvenile molestation group,
Yeah.
that in the general population of the prison at 65 years old, he may soon be dead.
True.
Yeah,
So
good point.
maybe they're trying to protect his life too. And back to Gabe getting sworn
Yeah.
in. Not legally sworn in. That
We
was
took
done.
the oath of office at the U.S. District Court on Sunday. So what did he do down in Washington, D.C.?
Well, he voted, so he took an oath of office.
That's
officially,
right.
Right.
Legally.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this was a ceremonial
This was
thing.
the in-district. Yes.
All right. What was it, a ceremonial
Crazy.
thing, Melissa? Or is this...
I believe so.
Oh, okay. Because it doesn't say that in the story. It's just he just won the special election. He's in, and he replaces David Cicilline.
I think this.
And let us not remind everyone that he's the only black representative we ever sent to Congress from Rhode Island.
Won't
I
be
think
the
he's-
last.
He he got sworn in by the speaker the minute he got down there.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
he could
that's correct.
participate.
Yes.
So he can vote.
Right.
So he could vote.
So
Right.
it doesn't say who swore him in. I guess it would be a judge up here.
Mm-hmm.
Since
Well,
he was at
maybe
the
they
courthouse.
didn't have the collation down there in Congress, and he wanted to do it up here. Mm-hmm. Well, that could make
sure.
sense.
Right.
All right. Did anyone go to Boston yesterday on Saturday to see the reenactment of the Tea Party? I mean, they do it every day, but that was the actual.
Every
They
day.
do it every day.
They do it every. They reenact it every day. As soon as you get a paying customer on that boat, they're doing it.
Oh yeah.
But it was the actual anniversary date back in 1773, and they're very smart because when they throw the tea in the water, it's on a rope, so they just reel it back
Reel
up.
it in.
No one has to jump in the harbor and retrieve the crates of tea.
I saw the article in the Globe, and I had an obligation as a Rhode Islander to point out to them that they were a year late. And in fact, it all started in Narragansett Bay when they
Gaspee.
torched and sank a ship.
I know. How did that not make bigger news?
Well, it wasn't Boston. Where did all the
I know.
first, those great leaders of the nation that actually became president and all those other positions came out of Boston?
You're correct.
If they'd have come out of Newport, might have had a different beginning to the revolution.
Well, not that my daughter did this, but early admission to Harvard this year is down 17% over last year. Brown University's up.
14.5%.
How about that? Yeah. Just under Harvard's reporting, just under 8,000 students have applied for early admission for next fall. 700 have already been accepted. Last year at this time, Harvard had 9,500 early admission applicants. So there's still more coming. These are just the people that said, yeah, I really want to go to Harvard, so we get our applications
So,
in early.
so for the purposes of conversation, do we expect it to go up now?
The amount of applicants?
Yeah.
Yes.
After all of the news stories from the last 2 weeks, do we expect that to go up?
Oh,
I will refer back to my comment about double standards.
Aha.
So sure. Yeah, these are just the early admission people. The regular admission people have to get their applications in by February 1st or something.
What I
like that.
did learn, though, is I didn't realize it was such a high percentage. I heard somebody say yesterday on one of the news programs, 15% of the students at Harvard are Jewish. That's a high
Okay.
number
Yeah.
relative to the general proportion of the population.
How do they know? And this is the
I'm
problem.
saying that seems like an awfully high number.
Religion is very personal thing, and I wouldn't want. I don't put it on applications.
I
So
don't know how
why-
I don't know how they know that.
Yeah.
Oh, they're always checking demographics at colleges.
Yes, I'm sure they
Yeah.
are.
Right. They
And
do it
if you put
anonymously.
But if you put it on applications,
Then
you also get more financial aid.
If that's the case, then I'm going to the wrong college.
But they all do.
I feel strongly about privacy. It's just
Well, yes.
I'm in the
there is-
minority. I am in such a minority. I'm almost like a wacko when it comes to
the
privacy.
last box you can check says, "I prefer not to answer."
Yeah.
Oh, do they have
Yes,
that?
that is an option as well.
Then
Yep.
they'll put you where they want you, right?
Well, you're
You
with,
can just
you're with,
prefer not to say.
you're
Yeah.
with miscellaneous.
Okay.
It's an alternative to none of your damn business.
Do you ever take a survey? Like your doctor sends you a survey, and then like even when I go to just for like my PCP, they'll send you a survey. How did we do? Do we?
PCP is primary care physician for those who
Oh,
need a
yeah,
translation.
yeah. Thank you.
Thought it was a
So,
drug.
It's
no,
your
not that,
doctor.
not that PCP.
The first
Don't
doctor.
don't do that. How long did you wait? This, that.
Yeah.
And then in the last, it's they ask you, they give you all your options, your gender, your
Your
age,
age, yep.
and then the last box is just prefer not to answer. Sometimes they'll ask you, how much what your household income is, and prefer not
of
to
course,
answer.
yeah.
But
Right.
you can't not answer the question about have you felt depressed recently? Do you own a gun? Have you ever felt suicidal? You can't. You got to answer those.
So,
Yeah,
so
but
what-
they wouldn't give
In terms
you that.
of how much
like
your
a-
family income is,
a-
no, you don't have
They
to
wouldn't do
answer
that in a survey though,
So-
on your phone.
So when they
hopefully.
wanted me to fill that survey out, my answer was, "You were there, weren't you paying attention?"
Yeah, this is just so you're automated. And
I
they
was
collect the-
I already had my doctor's appointment. I saw the doctor. You were there, weren't you?
Not
I
the
hope
person-
you know
Fill it
how
out
old I
yourself.
am.
Not the person sending the
These are-
survey. They weren't there. That's
Well,
coming from somewhere
then they
else.
have
Yeah,
to
it's
talk
just
to somebody who
automated,
was
yeah.
there. It's their responsibility, not mine, to stop my life and tell them
Well, you
information.
don't. First of all, you don't have to fill out these.
I only have to
surveys.
tell the doctor the information.
You don't, but I always put prefer not to answer at the end.
Do you?
I don't put my
Good
no. I
girl.
don't put my information.
There
in
you go. That's the way to stand up
I
for
throw down my
yourself.
social security number just for an extra point.
Oh yeah, just
Oh, come on. Serious.
I prefer to answer
Would
some
you
of
like to
those
give
with
us any
the
other
wrong
info?
answers.
Wrong answers. That's pretty funny too. All right, more of the Coffee and program coming your way. Please stick around. Now that you have pre-ordered your Christmas desserts from Wright's Dairy Farm, when you stop by to pick them up, remember to pick up a gift card or two. You never know when you're going to need another gift to give this season, and a Wright's Dairy Farm gift card would be treasured at Christmas time and throughout the new year. Wright's Dairy Farm, 200 Woonsocket Hill Road, North Smithfield. Check out their entire lineup of wonderful bakery items online at wrightsri.com. Wright's Dairy Farm in North Smithfield.
Are you looking for solutions to meet your business banking needs? At Milford Federal, the longest standing community bank in the area, they offer customized solutions for commercial lending, cash management, online banking, and payment processing services. Their business banking team is committed to the growth and success of your business with local decision making and a relationship based approach. Let Milford Federal be your banking partner. Visit them at milfordfederal.com today. Milford Federal Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 465956.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
It's Coffee Ann on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan along with Melissa Murray. Dave Richards, Woonsocket City Council President John Ward is here as well. And all right, the good story is, remember last week the tornadoes that went through Tennessee and caused quite a bit of devastation? A baby was miraculously found alive in a tree
oh my
after
God.
tornadoes ripped through last
bow
weekend.
didn't break. Huh?
That's right. The parents of the 4-month-old said the tornado tore apart their mobile home last Saturday, picking up a bassinet with their baby still inside. After the storm passed, the family began looking for the baby and eventually found him in a tree. The mother said it looked like the baby was placed on the tree gently and called the scenario a miracle. The mother baby and her other young child only suffered minor scrapes.
Was the baby in the bassinet? I'm just thinking of.
Yeah. And
So
the
it was
bassinet in the
literally
tree.
Rockabye Baby.
Yes.
Two words come to mind hearing that story.
What's that, Dave?
God's hands.
Yeah. This is one of those deals where it's just not your time.
Well, it's one of those
Not the-
things
not
that
the
makes you
baby's time.
believe, Joe.
Yeah. So just makes me wonder, why did they wait for the storm to pass before they went looking for the baby?
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Maybe if the tornado's coming by, it was pushing
Yeah,
it
I mean,
back.
Always put on your own oxygen mask first, Joe.
that's my favorite thing to tell people. So, yes. Yes. I
wonder
mean,
how
you
many
could get impaled by, like,
Yeah.
a fence post if you go out there. So, no.
Traveling at 150 miles
Yeah,
per hour.
yeah.
Right.
Don't go outside in a tornado.
All right. Now here's the bad news. Out of Washington, D.C. Federal prosecutors say a D.C. man killed his wife last weekend because he didn't want to eat pancakes that she made. That's a good reason, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia announced a second-degree murder charge against 85-year-old
What?
85 Stephen Schwartz. Say Schwartz stabbed his 81-year-old wife on Sunday and that she died after being taken to the hospital. Schwartz has pleaded not guilty. The charges against him is being held without bond pending a preliminary hearing.
Not guilty because
pleaded not guilty.
Probably
because the
by reason of
pancakes.
An outburst
I
caused
said
by
no blueberries this
That's right.
time.
An
Like-
outburst caused by dementia, no doubt.
Could be. Yeah. Doesn't say about all that information, but I don't know how they got
That's
the
quite
idea.
possible. A lot of people with Alzheimer's, they get in fits of anger.
Yes.
I don't. It doesn't say why, if he pled not guilty, how they came up with the pancake theory. Well, this is why I did it. But
Well, it's probably what he said.
maybe.
Yeah.
I said
then you
no
have
blueberries this time.
What do you mean we're out of maple syrup?
Uh-huh.
So, all right. Anyway, your favorite person, Mark Zuckerberg, is on his way to having one of the most expensive personal construction projects in modern history, according to
Oh, yay.
a Wired investigation. Kalua, Kalao, K-O-O-L-A-U, Kalua,
K-O-O.
Sounds
L-A-U,
like Kulao.
a
Kulao.
Kulao Ranch in Kauai
Okay.
will be the new family home for the billionaire. After
That
he
ain't in
purchased-
Tennessee.
No. After he purchased the land for $170 million. The compound will consist of more than a dozen buildings and be completely self-sufficient. It also has a doomsday bunker with a blast-resistant door.
And he'll still need another home to fit his ego.
It won't fit in the bunker?
It won't
Nah, I
fit
doubt it.
on the 170 acres it won't fit.
You sure about that?
Zuckerberg?
Yeah.
I'm quite confident.
Oh, well, all right.
I want to know when that boxing match is going to happen.
Yeah.
Between him and Musk?
Yeah.
Which one's got the training? Is it- one of them's got a belt of some sort. I don't know if it's a black belt, but someone's
Zuckerberg's been training. I know.
literally.
Literally.
Okay.
I don't know whether Musk already has some.
I thought maybe
Martial
it's
arts.
Zuckerberg has the training. With
Yeah, weren't they going to do a cage match?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Put on pay-per-view.
Yes, lock it and don't let either of them out.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Be like the old days.
Two man enter.
Death-
Zero.
the
No
one-
man leave.
The one that dies loses. Literally.
What's the deal?
Like
Takes
Mad
the
Max
wheel.
style. Yeah.
No, it's just if they're both in there forever, we all win.
All right. Like the man that stabbed his wife allegedly over the pancakes he didn't like. He should have got together with this woman in Australia because she was caught stealing a truck, had 10,000 donuts in it. Kind of like a Homer Simpson kind of thing. Yeah. An unmarked delivery truck had stopped for gas near Sydney, Australia. A woman allegedly hopped inside the vehicle and drove off with all the Krispy Kreme donuts.
Maybe she was hoping there was money inside. Or
Maybe.
and unmarked, because it was unmarked, right?
Yeah. Detectives followed leads of the woman in the vehicle, eventually tracked down the abandoned delivery truck to a suburban car park. The woman had been charged. And as for the donuts, they've all been, quote unquote, destroyed. Not eaten.
I say they just follow the trail of donuts.
Falling out the back. I'm assuming they're not cooked Krispy Kreme donuts because they're in
Sure.
an unmarked. So they're bringing them to the store for them to heat up.
Who knows, right? I mean,
I don't know.
they box them up and they bring them to supermarkets and they're cooked.
Yeah, they probably bring them to markets, I would think.
No, my wife used to work for a company similar to that, and they would sell the frozen treats to like Stop and Shop and Shaw's and like that, and then they would take them and put them in their ovens, and that way
Oh.
they could then sell them
Sell
as
them as
freshly
their
baked.
own.
It's freshly baked because they
Oh, right,
technically
because
put
they
it in an oven.
technically because they
Oh.
literally baked it.
Yes.
Right.
So I don't know if this is the situation here.
I don't think
Maybe that's the way
so.
they do it in Australia, not around here.
Maybe.
I know my daughter works at a Dunkin' Donuts, and they bake all the donuts.
They
to
still
ship out
bake
to other
donuts there?
At
Yeah.
her particular one.
I know some of
She
their
works
Dunkin'
there.
Donuts contract for
That's
it.
right. But hers actually
Unbelievable.
has a baker come in at 4 a.m. and start baking for
I
that,
have to
that
make the
place. Time to
donuts.
make the donuts.
That's why it's
Hers-
not Dunkin' Donuts anymore. It's just Dunkin'.
Dunkin'. But they bake donuts for that place and a couple of others that are nearby. Maybe another 4.
So single franchise operated by
Yes.
has a store that cooks
So,
for his franchise.
If those other places run out of donuts and they say go in the back and make them, well, there's no in the back to make.
That's because that's where they microwave their sandwiches.
That's right.
Yeah.
And sometimes they grill
Pre-cooked eggs
and
and bacon.
and grill the bagels.
I think that's the only reason there's a market for pre-cooked bacon in the supermarket now is because all these restaurants
Sell it.
buy pre-cooked bacon. And they say, well, let's package it and sell it in the stores.
Yep. All right. A new grandmother is being hailed as a hero. She delivered her own grandchild. delivered her daughter's baby at a busy intersection in Los Angeles.
Okay.
A very pregnant, obviously, Rosie Rodriguez and her husband, Miguel, were being driven by her parents on the 5 freeway. Oh, that's the name of the hotel, the highway, right? Mm-hmm. The 5 out
5,
there.
yeah.
From their home to an area hospital. That's when Rosie said the baby isn't going to wait to get to the hospital. So Rosie's father got off the freeway, pulled over near Slauson Avenue and Telegraph Road, intersection in the city of Commerce, California. You know it well?
No,
You know that intersection?
I just reminds me of Johnny Carson and the Slauson cutoff, where they cut off your Slauson.
What?
So
You have to be old and like to watch Johnny Carson late at night when you were younger.
Rosie's mother was in the back seat with her and was the first to welcome Elzin, E-Z-L-Y-N, Elzin Sol Rodriguez into the world. Paramedics arrived shortly after, and the newborn baby is reportedly in very good condition.
Eslin, what?
Saul, S-O-L.
Saul.
That's-
Saul.
that's
All right.
son.
Son. Yeah,
Son.
I guess son.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what Eslin
I,
stands for. E-Z-L-Y-N.
isn't it? I swear,
Rodriguez.
in another 30 years, there'll be nobody left on the planet named Bob.
Yeah.
That's way too boring.
Oh my Bob.
Down at Disney World in Animal Kingdom, a baby elephant was born.
Oh.
I saw pictures of it
I'm
yesterday.
glad an adult elephant wasn't born.
That would have been remarkable, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Park officials say a baby African elephant has been born at Disney's Animal Kingdom for the first time in 7 years. They named the baby gorilla elephant Cora, weighed over 200 pounds at birth, and is now bonding with her mother. Disney says the little elephant is extra special since her mother was also born at Disney's Animal Kingdom, making Cora the first second-generation calf at the park. The pair will spend several days bonding before joining the herd, but the park's veterinary team will continue monitoring them to make sure they are nursing and gaining weight. That's what they do down there.
Bravo.
So, yay for them.
And the gestational period for an elephant is like years, right?
I thought it was 2.
Yeah,
at
it's
least
a long
2.
time.
So,
Well, you know, it's a
practically
200-pound
human.
baby.
practically human. I don't know about that.
Oh, if you ever see them socially, when you
Elephants?
watch some of the films of elephants in the
They
social
all
setting,
protect the little one.
They do.
It's a close knit
Yeah.
family group. They are very close to humans.
And they accept other elephants from other herds.
They
Yeah.
do
They don't-
remarkable things.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yes,
they're
they-
pretty amazing animals.
They don't reject like some other animals do. So, good for them. The hot selling item at Costco is gold.
Yes, you can buy gold from Costco.
Yeah, this past quarter saw $100 million worth of gold bars sold online.
Gold bars.
Yeah. The 24-karat South African gold bars were listed for over $2,000 an ounce on a Friday on the website. And by the way, the sales are non-refundable. You can't bring your gold back. I want my money back on the
Well,
gold.
because the cost changes every day,
rapidly,
right?
doesn't it?
So I want to return this now, and you get more money than you spent for it.
Well, no,
or
that's not how
less.
that works. If you want,
Well, no, but I
go ahead
mean,
and sell it then. If that's
right?
the case,
Right? No, I'm just saying, like, of course they're not refundable.
I guess some people are trying it. I didn't
People
really
will try
want it.
anything.
They will. A new study says Americans eat an extra meal each day just by snacking.
Okay.
Researchers at The Ohio State University studied data from over 20,000 individuals and found that Americans consume up to 500 calories daily just from snacks alone, which is often more calories than breakfast, but with less nutritional value. Senior author of the study said snacks are contributing a meal's worth of intake to our diets without actually being a meal. Makes
Now-
sens.
Yeah, it does make
Yeah.
sense.
Give me that in age categories.
I don't have it. So you gotta lay off the ring dings and the cookies and
You're supposed to eat smaller meals more often,
that's right.
but not
But do
like
you-
regular sized meals more often.
I just finished my Saturday night dinner yesterday
Well, good for
because
you.
I went to a restaurant
Took it home.
where they serve certain serving sizes are 2 or 3 times what's necessary to call it a meal.
Oh yeah, happens all the time. We're always bringing stuff home. It used to mortify me when I was a younger man.
Yeah.
Now I've gotten good with it. I said, look, I'm going to enjoy this a lot more later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just do it. In fact, I was so successful one time. I had the idea for a long time. I finally did it recently. walked in, ordered one of my favorite meals, and when I was ordering, I said, "Bring the box
With the meal.
with the meal, or before the meal."
Yeah.
I said, "Because I'm going to put half of it away, so I only eat half of it." I said, "You're very generous. I love it. I'll pay full price. I have no problems with that. But that makes such a great leftover. But I'm a plate cleaner by nature. I grew up this way, and so you're
is
doing
there.
me,
That's
you're
because
doing
there are
me a
children
service."
starving in Africa.
Thank you, John. But I will, if I put it away in the box before I start, I can clean my plate and I am good with the world.
No,
and I
no
was
guilt
so cool.
involved.
Got you beat.
I really felt good.
There's one restaurant, probably more than one, that serves combo meals.
Yeah.
And when my wife and I don't want to pay for the extra charge for having two people eat off one plate,
Oh, yeah.
you order it takeout.
Well, you could
Buy
do
the
that.
combo.
Yeah.
She has one of those pieces. I have the other. And then for the sides, she gets her baked sweet potato. I get my baked potato. We get the package and we split it, and we both have a full dinner.
Yeah.
And all we have to do is heat up some vegetables.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey, that's cool.
All
Well,
right.
listen, you got to do that these
Yeah.
days. And I think everybody, including the restaurateurs, will confide when they talk to you privately. Yeah, the portion sizes are way
Way
out,
out.
but you got to do
Oh,
it to
yeah.
be competitive.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
can blame Taco Bell for that fourth meal, right? Isn't that their thing? Like,
That
oh, yeah, Taco Bell has a whole advertisement. Like, oh, yeah, come get the fourth meal
Tonight at Taco
tonight
Bell.
at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
or tomorrow morning at 1 a.m.
What a great idea.
Yeah, and then go to sleep.
That was always my
Sleep it off.
That was always my fourth meal at Jack in the Box when they used to be open 24
Oh,
hours
yeah,
on Diamond
yeah.
Hill Road. Was their onion rings?
Good stuff.
Oh, good stuff.
All right, we've run out of time. Thank you very much for listening in. As always, Dave Richards, thanks for popping on in.
Well, it was a pleasure.
All right, and Melissa Murray, thanks for coming in as well.
Thank you.
All right, and John Ward, thanks for sticking around.
Glad to hang out with you folks.
Best of
And
luck at the
meeting
meeting tonight.
starts at 6 o'clock while Joe's doing the Tiki Bar. We'll be in a special meeting. And then we'll have our regular meeting at 7 o'clock. So please join us.
All right, very good. This is Joe Callahan. Have a great day. We'll talk to you on the Milk Fund auction at 4 o'clock. Stay tuned for Leslie Page at the library and Karen Zangaria next on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
Heavy rains and gusty winds, as you know, are battering Rhode Island today. A high wind warning has been issued for the area from 5 a.m. till 7 p.m. tonight, with gusts peaking at 60 miles an hour and creating high possibility of some power outages. A flood watch also in effect until tonight for northern Rhode Island, which will see 2 to 4 inches of rain during this storm.
The Woonsocket City Council will hold a special meeting Monday, December 18th at 6 p.m. in Harris Hall at Woonsocket City Hall. There'll be 2 items on the agenda. First is